The Universal Gate chapter on Bodhisattva Guanyin, Avalokitesvara. Then Bodhisattva in inexhaustible intent rose up from his seat, exposed his right shoulder as a gesture of respect, folded his palms, facing the Buddha and asked, World-honored one, Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara is for what causal conditions to be named Guan Shi Yin, observing worldly sounds? Buddha told Bodhisattva in inexhaustible intent, Good man, if there were innumerable hundreds of thousands of myriads of billions sentient beings who were experiencing all sorts of suffering and sorrows, and upon hearing about this Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin they would single-mindedly repeat his name, then Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin would instantaneously observe their sound and they would thereby attain emancipation. If there were someone who maintained repetition of the name of this Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin, and if this person entered a big fire, then by the forceful spiritual power of this Bodhisattva fire could not burn this person. If such a person were floated away by huge water, and called out the name of this Bodhisattva, then this person would reach shallows. Suppose that there were hundreds of thousands of myriads of billions sentient beings who entered great ocean in search of gold, silver, beryl, crystal, agate, coral, amber, pearl and other treasures. If black winds had blown their ships to the ghost land of Rakshasas, and there were even only one among them that called out the name of Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin, then all those people would be free from the danger of Rakshasas. For such causal conditions he is named observing worldly sounds. Further, if there were someone who, on the brink of being harmed, called out the name of Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin, then the knives and sticks held by others would break into pieces and thereby that person would be spared. If a great thousand-world system consisting of 1,000 cube worlds were filled fully with yaksas and rakshasas that intend to vex someone, then upon hearing that person's calling the name of Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin, those horrible ghosts could not even gaze at the person with angry eyes, not to mention to inflict harms. If someone, guilty or innocent, were physically confined by handcuffs and shackles, and this person called out the name of Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin, then all such fetters would break down and the person become liberated. If a great thousand-world system consisting of 1,000 cube worlds were filled fully with vengeful thieves, and a master of merchants led a group of merchants carrying precious treasures on a dangerous road, then one among them called out to say, Good men, don't be afraid. You should all call out single-mindedly the name of Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin. This Bodhisattva is capable of conferring the blessing of fearlessness upon sentient beings. If you call out the name, then you would be free from these vengeful thieves. The merchants, upon hearing this, all said aloud, Namo Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin. Due to this calling of his name they right away got liberated. Inexhaustible intent, the forceful spiritual power of great Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin is as awe-inspiring as such. If there were sentient beings who were much under the influence of sexual desires, by constantly repeating the name of Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin with reverence they would become free from such desires. Were they full of anger, by constantly repeating the name of Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin with reverence they would become free from anger. Were they full of ignorance, by constantly repeating the name of Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin with reverence they would become free from ignorance. Inexhaustible intent, Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin possesses great forceful spiritual power of this sort that could benefit beings in many ways. Therefore, sentient beings should often repeat his name in their minds. If a woman desired a male offspring, by prostrating and making offerings to Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin she would give birth to a male endowed with merits and wisdom. If she desired a female offspring, she would give birth to a female endowed with proper features and merits accumulated in past lives that would win admiration from people. Inexhaustible intent, Bodhisattva-观世音possesses such powers. If there were sentient beings who would reverently prostrate to Bodhisattva-观世音, then the merits they thereby accrued would not be in vain. Therefore, sentient beings should all maintain repetition of the name of Bodhisattva-观世音. Inexhaustible intent, if there were someone who maintained repetition of the names of bodhisattvas, as numerous as the sands of 62 billion Ganges rivers, and in addition had made offerings of drinks, foods, clothing, beddings, and medicines to them throughout this person's lifetime, then what do you think? Did such a good man or good woman have much merits? Inexhaustible intent said, very much, world-honored one. Buddha said, if there were someone else who maintained repetition of the name of Bodhisattva-观世音or just made prostration and offering once, then the merits of these two persons were exactly the same without differences, inexhaustible through hundreds, thousands, myriads, billions, kalpas. Inexhaustible intent, maintaining repetition of the name of Bodhisattva-观世音would receive similar benefit of countless and boundless merits. Bodhisattva inexhaustible intent asked Buddha, world-honored one, how does Bodhisattva-观世音roam this Saha world? How does he convey Dharma to sentient beings? What are matters that demonstrate his power of skillful means? Buddha told Bodhisattva inexhaustible intent, good man, if there were lands and sentient beings that should be saved through the body of a Buddha, then Bodhisattva-观世音would appear as the body of a Buddha to preach Dharma to them. To those that should be saved through the body of a Pratyeka Buddha, he would appear as the body of a Pratyeka Buddha to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of a Sravaka, he would appear as the body of a Sravaka to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of Mahabrahman, he would appear as the body of Mahabrahman to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of Sakradevana Indra, he would appear as the body of Sakradevana Indra to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of Isvara, he would appear as the body of Isvara to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of Mahevara, he would appear as the body of Mahevara to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of a heavenly great general, he would appear as the body of a heavenly great general to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of Vaisravana, he would appear as the body of Vaisravana to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of a minor king, he would appear as the body of a minor king to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of an elder, he would appear as the body of an elder to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of a householder, he would appear as the body of a householder to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of an official, he would appear as the body of an official to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of a Brahmin, he would appear as the body of a Brahmin to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of a Bhiksu, Bhikshuni, Upasaka, or Upasaka, he would appear as the body of a Bhiksu, Bhikshuni, Upasaka, or Upasaka to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of the wife of an elder, householder, official, or Brahmin, he would appear as the body of such a lady to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of a boy or girl, he would appear as the body of a boy or girl to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of a heavenly being, dragon, Yaksa, Gandharva, Asura, Garuda, Kimnara, Mahoraga, human or non-human, he would appear as all those to preach Dharma. To those that should be saved through the body of a Vajrapani, he would appear as the body of a Vajrapani to preach Dharma. inexhaustible intent, this Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin had accomplished such merits, and used various forms to roam all kinds of lands in order to guide sentient beings toward liberation from suffering. Therefore, all of you should wholeheartedly make offerings to Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin. This Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin could give blessing of fearlessness in fearful and urgent dangers. Therefore, all in this Saha world call him the provider of fearlessness. Bodhisattva inexhaustible intent said to Buddha, World-honored one, now I should make offerings to Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin. Then he untied the necklace around his neck that consisted of all kinds of jewel beads, and was worth hundreds of thousands taels of gold, gave it to Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin with the words, Kind one, accept this offering of jeweled necklace for the sack of Dharma. Then Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin would not accept it. Inexhaustible intent said again to Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin, Kind one, out of sympathy for those of us, please accept this necklace. Then Buddha told Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin should have sympathy for this Bodhisattva inexhaustible intent and the four groups, heavenly beings, dragons, Yaksas, Gandharvas, Asuras, Garudas, Kamnaras, Mahoragas, humans, non-humans, etc. Therefore accept this necklace. Right then Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin, out of sympathy for all those among the four groups and the heavenly beings, dragons, humans, non-humans, etc., accepted his necklace. He divided it into two halves. One half offered to Buddha Sakyamuni, one half offered to the pagoda of Buddha Prabhudaratna. Inexhaustible intent, Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin possesses such freedom of miraculous power to roam the Saha world. Then Bodhisattva inexhaustible intent asked in Gathas, World-honored one with wondrous signs complete, now I ask him once more, for what causal conditions the son of Buddha is named Guan Shi Yin? The Honorable One with wondrous signs complete replies in Gathas to inexhaustible intent. Listen you to the activities of Guan Yin, responding well to all places in all directions. Great vows deep as oceans, having passed kalpas inconceivable, attended more than thousands of billions Buddhas, develop great pure vows. For you I mention them in brevity, hearing his name and seeing his form. Such mental glimpses would not be in vain, but could extinguish suffering in all realms. Suppose some harmful intention had arisen, and one is pushed into a huge pit of fire. The power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would transform the fire pit into a pond. Or if one were floating in a huge ocean, and experiencing dangers of dragons, fish and ghosts, the power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would prevent waves from sinking this person. Or if one were at the pinnacle of Mount Sumeru, but pushed off the peak by some human being, the power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would sustain one in sky like the sun. Or if one were chased by bad people, and fell off the Vajra mountain, the power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would render impossible the loss of a hair. Or if one were surrounded by vengeful foes, each holding a knife to inflict harm, the power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would immediately raise mercy in their minds. Or if one were suffering from judicial hardship, at the brink of ending one's life by execution, the power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would break the executioner's knife into pieces. Or if one were imprisoned and shackled, with hands cuffed and feet chained, the power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would release one from such bondage. Curses and all sorts of poisons, which were intended to harm one's body, the power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would send them back to the originator. Or if one encountered evil Rakshasas, malevolent dragons, ghosts and the like, the power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would right away stop them from doing harm. or if one were surrounded by fierce animals, with sharp teeth and claws that are scary. The power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would drive them hurriedly away in all directions. Venomous snakes and scorpions, poisonous miasma, smoke and burning fire. The power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would turn them back automatically. Clouds, drumming thunders and striking lightning, falling hails and pouring heavy rains. The power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would right away disperse all of them. Sentient beings are cornered into difficult situations, countless sufferings are pressing on them. The power of wondrous wisdom of Guan Yin could relieve all sufferings in the world. Complete with all sorts of supernatural powers, applying extensively skillful means of wisdom. In all lands in the 10 directions there is no place where Guan Yin does not appear. All sorts of evil realms such as hells, ghosts and animals. Suffering of birth, senility, illness and death, gradually would all be rendered extinct. View of truth, view of purity, view of extensive wisdom, view of compassion and view of mercy, constantly longed for, constantly looked up to. Light of purity that is blemish-free, sun of wisdom destroying all darkness. Capable of pacifying calamities of wind or fire, universal clarity illuminating the world. Embodiment of compassion with thundering precepts, merciful intentions form wondrous huge clouds. Pouring nectar rains of Dharma, to extinguish flames of sorrows. In courts due to legal battles or in battle formation that are horrible. The power of chanting Guan Shi Yin would cause all enemies to retreat and disperse. Wondrous sounds, observing worldly sounds, pure sounds, ocean tidal sounds. Superior to worldly sounds, therefore one should constantly recall it. Thought after thought, let no doubt arise, pure holiness Guan Shi Yin. In suffering, sorrows, dying and dangers, capable of serving as a refuge. Complete with all kinds of merits, watching sentient beings with merciful eyes. Happiness accumulated as a boundless ocean, therefore all should make prostration to him. Then Bodhisattva earth-holding stood up from his seat, walked up to Buddha and said, World-honored one, if there were sentient beings who heard about the liberated activities of Bodhisattva Guan Shi Yin, as mentioned in this chapter and his supernatural power to appear through universal gates, then it should be understood that such people had not few merits. While Buddha was saying this, universal gates chapter 84,000 sentient beings among the assembly, all initiated the non-equal rank unsurpassable right Bodhi mind. Adi Da Fat TV